assembled in Indianapolis, Indiana, looking for a Pacers win today. And we've got it for you right here on 2K Sports. Well, it was the Indiana Pacers winning their last game against the Clippers in Los Angeles. Trading blows in that one, they did win by 3.
They won that game at the offensive end, guys. It almost seemed like they got something out of every possession down the floor.
And Steve, a few times they did come up empty. It didn't really carry over. They never lost their momentum.
So the next starting 5. Johnson Wallace, the explosive set of wings. Evans is out there with Brook Lopez. And it's Williams at the point. And for Indiana, Preston Hibbert are up front. And Stevenson is out there with George Hill. And it's George in at the 3 spot. The Pacers making a switch here. Green's checked in.
You know, the Pacers had that 4 or 5 year stretch where things went south after that brawl in the Palace. But if you look at their team now, the last couple of years, they've really built a strong young core. And it's paid off. They're becoming one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference.
And Steve, you're right about Clark. If you're a Pacer fan, you have to like the direction this team is headed. A lot of talent, Clark, in a lot of spots.
Well, keeping all that talent will be a concern at some point, but right now they are young and have depth, so you can't ask for much more if you're a fan of the team. A lot of promise looking ahead.
Johnson on him. He feeds it to Hibbert. Outside Hill. On the arc. George! And it's good! Hill's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Big mistake not having more defensive pressure on him out there. And for Roy Hibbert, no player has improved any more than he has. Having watched him from college at Georgetown until now, you got to be impressed with his dedication to remake himself athletically. It didn't come easily for him. When he arrived in college, he couldn't do 10 push-ups. They said he had to learn to run. He's done a tremendous job to add mobility, strength, and confidence to his game. Mobility and strength to that big frame.
That's a great story.
It is.
Williams kicks to Lopez. The feed now to Wallace. Slams it on the run.
And you really don't want to give up too many dunks like that. One is too many.
Oh, yeah, no, certainly you're right. You know, that's making it way too easy for sure.
Yeah, major breakdown defensively. They've got to tighten things up here.
And for Roy Hibbert, and we were just telling you this other day, Clark, he had to go through a diagnosis for asthma, which they did not know about until he went through a thorough test taken, and they addressed that. And he mentioned before he hit the weights, he lifts all year long. Steve, he's been a wonderful project that is now blossomed into this rising star at that position.
Well, you love what he's done, Kevin, because at Georgetown, he really couldn't move. He was heavy, he couldn't run, but he's done so much physically, nutrition-wise, conditioning-wise, even out of the personal chef. And we can see it now in his physique and the way he's performing. He's become a big-time player.
Tyler Hansbrough checked in for Indiana. Augustine comes in for George. And a change for the Nets. Chris Humphries has checked in for Brook Lopez. Now here is Hill. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Clippers in Los Angeles.
Oh, down there. Man. Call it hang time and bang time.
Unbelievable.
You gotta just shake your head on that one.
As the playoffs near, let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings. Look at Indiana and, of course, Brooklyn. They're tied right now. Paul George, he's checked in for the Pacers. Andray Blatche, he's checked in for the Nets. He's against Hibbert. The shot will not go. Great D that time from Hibbert. And the call will be against Bill Wallace. That's his first foul. Second team foul. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, I spoke to the head coach of the Pacers. The one area of his team that he has confidence in is how they play defense as a unit, saying, when we're on the same page, guys are shifting over, cutting off driving lanes, we can throw a wrench into the spokes of any offense. Guys?
Thanks, Doris. Johnson, as Doris provided the details, guys, the way they plan to attack defensively will be key early on, won't it?
Yeah, and early is the key word there, Kevin. If they can string together some stops right away, I think it'll really set the tone.
Which is just what they're going to be after, guys. They love to turn this into a defensive battle. With the move to Brooklyn now complete, we can look back at how the Nets fared in terms of playoff appearances during their time in New Jersey. They did a decent job of getting to the playoffs while in New Jersey.
Here's Johnson. Paul George making his last shot. The open shot by Johnson. Off target from the wing.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
And the call will be against Darren Williams. That is his first foul of the game. The Pacers making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. Here's Hill. Nice shot from the wing. Hill's got 5 points so far. It was hard, Steve, when the Nets were in the ABA. They won the 3 titles in 5 years, but the New Jersey version just didn't have that same success.
Well, the best years for the Nets were probably when Jason Kidd was running the show back 2 years ago. They made the finals in consecutive years. But now it's a chance to start new in Brooklyn, start something special. And they're going to bank on this new venue, new location to try to jumpstart their franchise.
Kicks it out to Johnson. It's collected by Blatche.
It's clear they had one thing on their mind when they came out of the gate today. Rebound.
Yeah, they've opened up the game with a pretty good margin in that area. Great sign for this club.
Beautiful finesse move right there. I mean, you've got to love that finger roll finish.
Hill with it. Williams picks him up. George passes to Mahimi. Jumps up. Missed inside. Looking at the last game for the Brooklyn Nets, it was a loss to the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Shots good by Williams.
Defensive foul.
There's never been any question about Darren Williams' ability to score. How about last season with the Nets when he had 57 in the game, including 21 consecutive free throws. Now, that's a Nets franchise record, the 57 points in one game. Amazing.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahima. And it's West in for Tyler Hansbrough. The Nets also changing it up. Chris Humphries has checked in for Evans. Hogan's comes in for Gerald Wallace. And it's Marshawn Brooks in for Joe Johnson. We talk about Williams as a scorer. He can give you those big nights, scoring, but of course also a tremendous playmaker.
Top 5 in assists pretty much his whole career, Kevin. And now with more help this season, I think he'll be able to lean more on his teammates and pile up even additional assists, since he won't have to shoulder the scoring load as much. I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Logan dishes to Brooks. With 1 on the clock, and that is Brooks. Brooks has got his first points of the game. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Nets out in front, up by 10.
The Nets.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, Clark and Steve, what do you guys think about what they have or haven't been doing?
Now the key has been the rebounding department. This club dominating the paint area. And if this continues, they'll be in great shape.
Well, they've done 2 things. They've limited second chances, and they've been able to flex their muscle down low.
And Brooklyn, look at who they've got. Darren Williams and Marshawn Brooks manning the backcourt. Watch out there with Humphries. And it's Bogans in at the 3-side. And the call will be against Darren Williams. That'll be his second foul of the game. And Augustine kicks it to West. Goes on strong with it and flushes it down.
This is Kevin Hart. Reached up high and brought it down.
And that's how you do the knock.
That's how you call commentators.
You guys are crazy. Well, it's interesting. Indiana is known for being a hotbed of basketball. And in recent years, the Pacers have not drawn well, in large part because I didn't think their teams were very likable. But that's changed. The current Pacer group is a hard-working, unselfish team. And I think they're fun to watch.
Williams attacking. Williams, a screen on offensive rebound. Here's Blatche. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Blatche's got 4 this quarter.
Well, you're not going to get a more high-quality look than that. Terrific offensive rebound there.
The unselfishness you mentioned, Steve, with this Pacers group, they really play team basketball, and they look out for each other.
And Kevin, a big part of it is they don't really have a superstar that they're built around. They're just a good collection of good to outstanding players, and they're all willing to defer in order to get the win.
It's a great ball.
Yep.
And Orlando Johnson is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert, and it's Green in for Johnson. And then for Brooklyn, Gerald Wallace is checked in for Bogans, and it's Watson in for Darren Williams.
They are in attack mode right now. That's 10 straight points, guys, all coming inside the paint.
And Steve, if I'm them, I'd keep going right to the heart of that defense like they have been until they do something about it. If they don't offer resistance, take everything you can get in there.
Here is Watson, guarded by Augustine, and there's the 3-second violation.
Well, you look at Frank Vogel of the Pacers, young guy, a lot of energy, and really emphasizes toughness and kind of a smash-mouth style that his team has really embraced.
Brook Lopez is checked in for Andray Blatche. Nets leading by 13. Watson, the pass to Brooks. Into Brook Lopez. And he converts the layup. Lopez has got his first basket of the night.
How about that play? Great body control. Still manages to finish the play despite the contacts.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Well, pretty average numbers for him from the foul line, shooting about 75%.
And boy, I tell you what, he's really coming to his own this year. I mean, that is an enormous step up from what he shot at the line last season.
Lopez with the steal. Brooks outside. Throws up the alley-oop. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And Augustine with a clear path to the hoop.
The offense really coming around here in the second.
Up above 50% shooting now for the game, guys, and they'll definitely take that. It's defense where they need to key in.
Plumlee, he's checked in for Ian Mahinmi. And a change for the Nets. Johnson's checked in. You talk about that tough style that Coach Vogel has emphasized. The Pacers have the size and, you know, Steve, the physicality inside to really deliver on that style of play.
Yeah, they've got a swagger about them, and obviously some talent, too, with guys like Hibbert and David West. So I like the way Vogel has really sort of rubbed off on this team. His personality has become their personality, and they've become one of the better defensive clubs in the league. Well, Johnson is not the same player he was a few years ago in terms of explosiveness, but he's still very crafty. He knows how to create his own shot by using that size and strength, and he can get to that mid-range area against virtually any defender in the league.
And one of the things with Joe is that he never seems to get thrown off his game once he gets it going. I mean, when he's flowing, it's hard to slow him down. He's a guy who can really score points in bunches.
That was a layup, and you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
Hill dishes to Green. Green gets a screen from Hansbrough. The shot's good from Plumlee.
See the pick there. Got him wide open all the way to the rim.
Nets leading by 13.
You know, when the Nets made the trade for Darren Williams a few seasons ago, Kevin, they were thought to have made a steal of a deal.
You're right.
Oh, look at the haul they gave up. And it was a pretty steep price to pay.
Paul George, he's checked in for Indiana. Gets the bucket. And it's 9 points for Wallace.
Great execution coming off that inbounds play.
Green, Lopez covering. And George kicks to Hill. Pass to Plumlee. And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way. Going back to that trade we talked about, Clark, several first-round picks and Favors, who has blossomed the last year or two up in Utah. Devin Harris was sent there as well. Not exactly cheap, Steve, but they had to give up a lot.
Well, gaining a superstar is never cheap, Kevin. And I thought the interesting thing about that trade was that New Jersey, now Brooklyn, of course, they didn't have any assurances from Darren Williams that he would re-sign. So it was really a major gamble at the time.
It's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
And you've had a chance to see Paul George. How about his numbers? Where does he stack up? Let's take a look. 7th in steals. He's been quite an offensive threat, averaging enough points to put him in the top 20 in scoring.
And Steve, I think we should take a look back at his top 10 steals ranking that you mentioned a bit ago. I mean, that's impressive. This guy gets it done. Jumps the passing lanes when appropriate, but he also can pick the pocket of the ball handler, too. You know, that kind of play will get you some brownie points with your coach, no doubt.
And with your fans, too, Clark, got a big dunk like that.
Yeah, even with the announcer.
Oh, yeah!
We all love it.
Green kicks to Plumlee. A rebound by the Nets. Wallace has got 3 rebounds now in this one. The Pacers beat them last time when these two teams met in Indiana. They get it back. Excellent D there from George. Pacers trail by 13. And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way.
Not the kind of pass you want to be making right there. He's lucky it wasn't stolen.
19 seconds left to play in the first half. Williams passes to Johnson. Passes to Evans. Misses the layup. And here's George for 3. And no good trying to get that one.
That's it for the second quarter.
That'll do it for
For Pacers, 24. The Nets, 37.
It's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback.
We've seen Gerald Wallace getting it done. He has 9 points and also a block shot. I'll tell you what, his halftime rest was well-earned and well-deserved. He worked hard in that first half.
And it paid major dividends, Clark. His output offensively was off the charts.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Pacers. Boston Hitler up front. George Hill out there with Orlando Johnson. And it's George in at the small forward.
And for my money, guys, David West is really the epitome of an old-school player. His game is old school, low to the ground, tough, physical, no nonsense. He's a power forward that's a throwback, but he also has great touch out to 18 to 19 feet.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. Johnson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Williams against Hill. Williams kicks to Wallace. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Pacers ball.
And an interesting look here at the top assisting point guards this season. Setting up teammates, being a playmaker. One of the hallmarks of being a premier point guard in the NBA. Number 5 is Darren Williams.
And obviously assists are the name of the game at the point guard position. That's not lost on these guys. It's all about team basketball with them.
You know, Steve, the court vision all of these players possess is outstanding. That, to me, is the most important attribute an effective point guard can have. They all have it in spades.
And the other thing about David West is he's a good ball handler. So you can go to him on the perimeter, run some dribble handoffs. He can get around you offensively. And he can do it without turning the ball over. So West, a nice option offensively.
Back to George. Picks it out to Johnson. Now the pass to Hibbert. Great D that time from Johnson.
Now still a great start to the half after hitting their first 3 before that.
And there's the defensive 3-second call.
You know, the Pacers as a franchise had a slow start when they joined the NBA in the mid-'70s, but from the 90s until today, Kevin, it's been a pretty consistent presence in the playoffs.
And he shows the focus there, nails the technical. The Pacers making a change here. Hansbrough's checked in. Here's Humphries. Good.
Chris Humphries.
And the Nets lead by 13.
And we see him get so many points that way because the effort is there constantly on the offensive glass.
And a strong finish with two hands.
That was a dynamic two-hand dunk there.
Right in the face of the defender.
That was a tough, gritty finish.
Yeah, you're right, Clark. Some great teams those Pacers had in the 90s. Still, the team is looking for the first title, Steve, in the NBA. They
Had multiple ABA titles.
Exactly. Good point. Steve, they're trying to do it now in this league.
Well, they've been close, but they just haven't been able to get over the hump. A little bit like the Phoenix Suns in the West. You know, two franchises that have been very, very good, but just haven't been able to win the big one.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Plumlee comes in for Roy Hibbert, and it's Green in for Johnson. Williams dishes to Wallace. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact to head to the line.
You know, in his day, Gerald Wallace was one of the best athletes in the NBA. I think he's lost a step, but, you know, he's still a very explosive player, ability to get out in transition and just blow by slower defenders.
And the Nets making a change here. Brooks checked in.
Let's see where the Pacers are, Kevin, in terms of the NBA rankings right now. First in rebounding, third in blocks. And they're in the top half of the league in challenging those shots. The opponent field goal percentage, the top half of the league. Not bad.
And probably what impresses me the most, Clark, out of all those stats you're talking about is the rebounds per game, because this is a team that has become very physical. They'll put up...
Hammer time! Wow. Hammer time! Boy, that is a tremendous jam.
Well, sometimes he's worth the price of admission alone for the show he puts on in the air. Some of the biggest slams you're ever going to see.
Yeah, absolutely filthy stuff. Nasty. Just stupid. That's the only way to describe a lot of his dunks. I mean, goes up high, throws it down hard. That's my tribute to you, Kevin.
Thanks, partner. George with the ball. Guarded now by Gerald Wallace. Green, the pass to Hansbrough. Indiana moving it around.
Banged it home. Man, that was nice.
Little Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
right.
that was strong.
Simple, direct, and effective.
And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. Hill kicks to George. Oh, offensive interference.
When you talk about the value of star talent in the NBA, I mean, there's only so many true star caliber players to go around, franchise type players, and it's awfully hard to compete for a title without that elite level player on your team in most cases. Sweet finish there, showing you some major strength and the ability to scout.
I rode that elevator right to the top floor.
Explosive hops. I'll tell you what, he can really catch you off guard.
Green dishes to Hill. He dishes it to George. Feeds to Green. Pass to Plumlee. Dishes it to Hill. 6 to shoot. On the wing, George. Can't hit. Good tee by Williams.
And they're struggling a little bit on the glass. They've got to pick up their physical play in the paint.
Yeah, it's about being tougher and more physical, just as you said, Steve. If they can do that better, they've got a chance to come back.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. Lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession.
Roy Hibbert's checked in for the Pacers. Augustine comes in for George Hill. Here's Green. That's good. Green's got 4 this quarter.
He is always so in control, guys. Even when he's going hard to the hoop, very skilled finisher.
Evans set the pick for Williams. Back to Evans. There's the dish to Lopez. Pushes it down.
Ammonia strong finish right there, partner. You hear me? That was ammonia strong.
That's about as high percentage as you can get. Another good offensive possession for him. He's trying to shoulder the load here for his team.
Evans, a screen on Augustine. Lopez passes to Brooks. And that one's good. Brooks has got his third basket of the night.
You know, down there in the low post is where you really want to create a lot of your offense.
Outside, Green. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. Augustine from outside. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game.
Third quarter.
Nets.
Your Pacers.
Pacers trail by 11. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Watson out there with Marshawn Brooks. Then there's Bogan. Then there's Evans. And it's Lopez in its center. West kicks to Johnson. Over Lopez. And there's the foul. It's on Reggie Evans. That'll be his second foul of the game.
First team foul.
And it's Brook Lopez with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Second personal foul. Second team foul.
Johnson outside. Another shot. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Orlando Johnson.
And this really is such an interesting time for the Nets because the move to Brooklyn, I think, has elevated the image of that franchise. You know, they used to be the little brothers to the Knicks and playing across the river in New Jersey. But now they basically are sharing the spotlight in the Big Apple, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
They get it back. Lopez. Nice second effort. Good job staying with it. Here's Johnson. Mark, they're looking now at a sizable deficit.
Yeah, you know, they've got a lot of work ahead of them, but no reason to give up hope right now.
No, the game's still out there for them, but they've got to get back to their game plan and start to grind out each possession.
Augustine with the steal. All alone. Nets leading by 9. Yeah, Nets are now in one of the premier locations, Steve, for any sports franchise, even if it was a short move. And I think, Clark, with that move, the whole mindset has seemingly changed.
Well, you can certainly call them a big market team now, and a lot of free agents will probably be interested in signing there. So definitely they've got a working advantage in their favor now.
Joe Johnson, he's checked in for the Nets. Indiana making some changes. Plumlee, he's checked in for the Heat. Hansbrough comes in for David West. And it's Green in for Paul George. Nets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Johnson goes in.
He's trying to shoot his way out of it, guys. And as long as they're in the lead, he's going to continue to try to find his rhythm.
Jeff Pendergrass checking in for Johnson. Augustine off the pick from Hansbrough. Augustine dishes to Hansbrough. No good. And Brooklyn will come the other way. At one point, they led by 16. Johnson with it. Now Green defending. Nice quick spin move there to get in close.
Well, you hate to see a guy suffer through a game like this, but his team is winning.
That'll wake you up.
Is he an athlete or what?
He just lives above the rim. I mean, dunks like that have become routine for him.
Goes up on the elbow. Goes up. And the dunk by Lopez.
Step aside, step aside. We got the big fella coming through.
That is a powerful brand of basketball right there.
Man, an amazing putback. You just love the effort from this guy.
3 on 3. Here's Watson. Second shot opportunity. And again, it's Brook Lopez. Lopez has got 6 in the quarter.
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
Roy Hibbert's checked in for the Pacers. The Nets also changing it up. Chris Humphries has checked in for Evans. Wallace comes in for Keith Bogans. And Darren Williams is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what the Nets coach is going over with his team. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
Some changes for Indiana. David West, he's checked in for Hansman. Paul George comes in for Jeff Penderman. And George Hills subbed in for Augustine. Williams. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. 10 points. Oh, what a play!
Look at that. Bring it down. Out. An absolute gem of a throwdown there.
A little extra dose of flair on that one. Some style points for sure.
I give it a 10, Kevin, no question. That is a 10.
The Nets making a switch here. Blatche is checked in. Nets leading by 13. And the call will be against Darren Williams. That's his third foul of the game.
He's been doing a nice job taking care of the ball. Not many miscues from him in this one. That's his only turnover.
Hill against Williams. Hill sets the screen for George. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Paul George.
How about Paul George? When he got into the NBA, he's grown a couple of inches. He's now 6'10". And as a swingman, that's just great size. Phenomenal athlete, can guard pretty much anybody on the court.
Pacers fans, get loud and make some noise for Boomer the Panther.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And Paul George taken with the 11th pick in the 2010 NBA draft. Clark, if you look back at that class, do you think if they did it over, he'd go high?
I don't know if he would or not, but I'm certainly glad he fell where he did to number 10 and for the Indiana Pacers, because I think he's got a chance to be a star. At both ends of the floor, it's a matter of commitment to the extra work and keeping his feet on the ground, staying humble and hungry. If he does that, the kid's got a chance to be a special player.
Indiana making some changes. Plumlee comes in for Roy Hibbert, and it's Johnson in for Green. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. Hill with Williams picks him up. Hill kicks to Johnson. West inside. Humphries with the steal. In transition, here come the Nets. And it's Darren Williams with the finish.
Yeah, very opportunistic defense there, leading to those points.
That's exactly what they'll do to you, Steve. They will pounce on your mistakes.
Bring it down.
Hill kicks to George. Johnson outside. Hill a screen on Johnson. Johnson, the pass to West. That one goes.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen. Tearing that roof down with that one.
Yeah, and really a dunk contest dunk that time. Wow.
Yeah, unreal. What a dunk.
Williams with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. And Darren Williams with the three.
Well, you got to like the way they've come out here in the second half. They're starting to knock down shots with regularity.
Yeah, and any team will take that. I mean, if you're shooting over 50%, it usually means you're moving the ball, you're getting good looks on the shots you want. And I think they just got to continue to play smart and play together just like they've been doing to keep the lead.
Johnson dishes to West. And that's a foul called on Andray Blatche. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And the first one at the line is good. The Pacers making a switch here. Green's checked in, and both free throws good for West. Nets shooting 52% from the floor. Nice work so far from them. For three, Williams, and the Nets another three.
Well, they are not exactly taking their foot off the gas just yet.
No, they want to throw a little bit of whipped cream and some cherry on top of this one.
Here's Plumlee. A rebound by the Nets.
Ill-advised dunk attempt there. Game for the highlight reel and ended up on the blooper reel.
For three, Williams goes back up. And that one's good. And the Nets lead by 18.
I think we can chalk this one up. The goal now is just to run some time.
Yeah, I think it's time to get the bus started now, boys.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
Roy Hibbert.
On the wing, George. Wallace covered. It's a nice shot by George. 6 seconds left in the fourth. Johnson kicks to Williams. 17-foot shot on the way. Again, the Nets for two.
And this one's pretty much wrapped up.
And they know it. I mean, took care of business. Chalk it up as a W, Steve.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Andray Blatche.